What is up, you guys? I'm coming back at you with a brief recap of Growing Up Hip Hop LA. This is season 4, I believe, episode 5. I do not regularly review this show because it's just so many problems with this show. I do like it, but it's not one of them ones where, like a Real Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac or basketball, not something that just, oh my God, I feel excited or compelled to talk about. I was a little bit compelled to talk about this episode. So I'm going to just go through a few things that I noticed and we'll go from there. First off, we got Boogie's intervention. Y'all know Boogie, Dame Dash's son. Very handsome on the outside, very fucking stupid on the inside. I have lost all patience. I have lost all hope for him. He's just a spoiled kid. He aggravates my soul. I believe, was it last week's episode where Master P tried to talk to him and he was acting all nonchalant? And I'm just looking like people are coming at you, motherfucker, because of all the shit that you putting your father through. You had lean in your sister's room. You getting so comfortable with your little drug habits. You bringing the shit into the house. You being messy. And people are calling you out on it. And you got the fucking audacity to be like, well, I don't need this. I don't need nobody trying to talk to me. And then in the intervention, I don't really feel like this is love. And he could have pulled me to the side. He's already did that. I'm pretty sure he's already pulled you to the side. You keep acting like you don't need rehab. Evidently you do. You keep going back to the same fucking drugs. Then you got people that will say, well, he just needs to be nicer. And listen, when a motherfucker begins to fuck up your money, let's see if you become nicer. Let's see it. You know, if my daughter ever gets out of hand like this, I will feed her ass with a long wooden spoon. I don't care what title you have. I will always, work hard to have a relationship with my daughter, but I will never let her ass destroy my life with her bullshit. You go get some tough love. Okay, and Damon probably is better than me because I beat and stopped talking to his ass. You gotta let people kind of go their own way and figure shit out. But yeah, he acted all nonchalant and, oh, I don't get why they're doing this. Brianna is the one that led him into this intervention. She told him she loved him or whatever. I kind of like him and Brianna as friends. I feel like out of all the people I see Brianna talk to on here, her relationship with Boogie, it just seems the most genuine. Like she actually really cares for him. I know I did not review last week's episode, but I did want to speak on that and kind of put it in here. So last week, Dame went to Peppa's game night and he was pretty much letting her know, next time you see Boogie, don't give him a drink. I understand him having that talk with her, but I was against him kind of blaming her because she's just like, all I did was offer a drink. I didn't know his issue was that. And I do see the innocence in that, and Dame was wrong for how he overreacted. But I also have to put myself in Dame's shoes. That's your child. You want everybody to know that in this working environment, don't give my son nothing to drink. Don't do drugs with him. He is out of control. Damon had seen a video. They didn't even show it to us, the audience, but there was some video of people calling Boogie's name and him not being responsive. It was just crazy. So I understand as a parent where Dame is. He's desperate. He does have a lot of displaced anger. He's blaming people, but I think within that, he just wants to educate them and be like, hey, don't give him no fucking drinks. So Damon ends up having the people turn the cameras off because Boogie does not want this on camera. He feels like with it being on camera, he don't feel like his father is being genuine. Just more excuses and bullshit, and I'm over it. They get to asking him, why does he do what he do? Why did he call Brianna high? And he was like, I wasn't high, I was drunk. Motherfucker, you have a problem with alcohol and you think it's okay to be calling people while you drunk? Like he's in such denial. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at this point, Damon is holding on to a string. It's just like he knows that his son is fucked up and it's just out of his control, and he doesn't want to get that call that this man then died over some bullshit, over the simple fact of he could have got his son some help. But at the same time, we can't help people that don't want to be helped. This motherfucker ends up, after everybody talking to him at this intervention, he ends up getting up, walking out, and then I don't understand why they ain't just let his ass go. Okay, so before Boogie had left out, Dame had threatened him. That's what it was that had him leave out. Dame had pretty much threatened him and was just like, well, today is your last day of filming. You're not going to be on this show anymore until you go to rehab. I am 100% in agreement. And I even heard Dame said, if we didn't put his back against the wall, if we didn't start taking things from him, then he'll never take this serious. Very true. You have to take things from people. It's the only way that they will appreciate things. We saw the same thing with Tommy on Love and Hip Hop. They said, if she does all that drinking on the show, she ain't gonna be able to come back on the show, which will affect her money and stuff. And once it gets to that point, it affects their money, then they will get their shit together, because people need money to, rent what, a house or buy a house, a car. He's using the money from the show probably to buy drugs. And Dame is just like, listen, I'm not going to help you self-destruct, So some lady had threatened to call the pet team on Boogie because they was thinking maybe he didn't say anything suicidal, but he's calling all these random people to come get him, so they're getting suspicious of that. Dame says, no, don't call nobody. Dame says, oh, if he goes to rehab on his own, then you won't call anybody. The lady says, that's correct, we won't call anybody. So Dame goes outside, tries to convince him to go to rehab, hugs and kisses him, and he agrees to go, which I'm happy. I'm happy that he agrees to go. He's young, handsome guy. His life is filled with so much promise. And if he just goes to rehab and sticks with it, because you need rehab if you can't get off the drugs, if you can't stop if you know that you have a bad relationship with alcohol, then you don't need to keep drinking. It's just going to get worse. You have to be self-aware. And I'm kind of sick of people saying, well, Dame smokes weed, and Dame probably can control him smoking weed. He can control that. These other drugs are different. You can die from that lean shit. So weed and lean are two totally different things. I actually saw some comments on social media where people was comparing the two. I'm like, ain't no fucking comparison. There are people that can drink alcohol without becoming addicted to it. There are so many people that they can't have that one shot or that two shots. They got to keep going and going and going. And then they're doing it every day, and it's affecting their work life, and they're not making money. And, that is the path that this boy is on if he doesn't get help. Period, point blank. People keep saying, well, you can't make, nobody do, and you can. They cannot make him do stuff. Yes, he's doing it, but hopefully he does it and realize, hey, I could lose my money. I could lose any of my opportunities. They get opportunities from this show. They probably do little club gigs. I think he's into music and he DJs or whatever, and he has the marijuana business with his father. He could lose all of that because of this drug and alcohol addiction. So I'm just glad he agreed to go. Honey, I saw a little bit of motherfucking Brianna and Christina about to get into it. And something about somebody didn't acknowledge somebody when they came in and you didn't say hi. Brianna, you have to stop overreacting to things. This is the same reason why Angela won't film with your ghetto ass. I like Brianna a little bit, you guys. I think she is kind of wise for her age. It's really weird with how I feel with her, because she is a bully and she do be talking her negative shit sometimes, but sometimes she be keeping it real. And I do think she is a decent friend to Boogie. I don't know about everybody else, but I don't like this whole thing of her liking Romeo. She is not Romeo's type. I'm not saying he wouldn't sleep with her, but I don't see him being with her long term. I feel like Brianna needs to find a different guy because Romeo is always up Angela's ass. I'm sick of the whole Angela and Romeo storyline they keep trying to sell us with. Them looking at houses, them hanging out. You know Angela's single, all this bullshit. It's just y'all either go get together or y'all not. And I think I heard Angela say on the last episode, well, it's either Bow Wow. She was talking to one of her homegirls. It's either Bow Wow or Romeo. I can't even, escape neither one. And it's just like, girl, Bow Wow is not for you at all. You know what I'm saying? He's too childish and immature. Your best bet would be Romeo, but then I wouldn't even fuck with him because you would be mixing business with pleasure. And ain't that what you told Pep's daughter? Don't be doing all that. So I don't think you should do that. But I want to see more genuine new relationships for Romeo and Angela. I'm sick of this whole storyline of them getting together. I don't never see them getting together. I just don't see it. I think it's some shit that they literally keep trying to push on us. Okay, so let's deal with Angela, Vanessa, and their situation. Y'all know their brother JoJo is on this show. I'm very happy that JoJo is on here because I feel like he has made it more funny. He has livened it up and kind of kept it young, and I don't know. I wish they would go more into JoJo's personal life. I believe he got a baby mama or kids. I would like to see more of JoJo's life at this point. Okay, anyways, on this Angela and Vanessa situation, I'm going to just tell y'all what it is and go from there. There has always been with Angela this whole thing of I'm busy, I have other things to do. You always see Vanessa trying to hang out with her sister. I believe, what was that, last season before? They're always trying to hang out with each other. Well, Vanessa is, always. The one sister won't even have shit to do with Angela because she got sick of her ass. Darian, she got sick of Angela. And at this point, Vanessa, you need to take a page out of Darian's book and leave Angela alone. Because once again, Vanessa and Angela have this conversation about them working together, and that's something that Vanessa really wants, because they were successful when they did pastry and, some other ventures. And so Angela is just like, well, I can't do it. I got this Coogee deal, and I can't compete against the two different brands. And when Vanessa hears this, it's like it's just another excuse to her. And I kind of understand the business side of that. But Angela, before you opened up your mouth and said anything to your sister, because you have to know your relationship by now, and you have always, it seems like disappointed her. You always claiming you busy, or you, like you just said, you got stuck in a meeting. That's why you couldn't show up for Fashion Week. Vanessa said she held the runway up for 45 minutes waiting on you. If you get to the point, Angela, where you see your sister keeps trying to make a motherfucking effort and spending time with you, and you too busy, or there's always some excuse, you need to just, I don't even know why you on this show. If you're not really going to talk and share everything, and I don't know, it's unnecessary. So Vanessa, the advice I would give you is to leave Angela's ass alone. She, I don't believe, has the same interests that you do, and keeping the name in the family. And Angela is all about herself. Angela does have her own brand individually, and I understand that, and I understand that that's important. But Angela, you have to remember that you've disappointed your sister over and over again, so you can't be telling her shit and then you fall back on your word, and then it just makes you look bad, and it makes you look inconsistent. And the little meeting y'all had, you left all in your feelings, but it was your fault. Because you should have never promised. You should have made sure, the deal was, you should have made sure that, I can do what I'm doing with them. You could have finished that up and said, hey sis, we could work on this. We'll just have it come out after this deal is done. Like, it's still shit that you can do. You may not be able to come out with it, but y'all still could be sketching out ideas, putting shit on paper, kind of knowing what you're going to do. Now, Vanessa is saying that she could go on and do it by herself, which I feel would be good for you, Vanessa. You've been a mother way longer than Angela. I thought y'all was going to do, like, I think it'd be cute if you guys do like a baby clothing store, since both of you guys are parents, and then Angela has the boy, you have the girl. I think that would be a really good business venture, you know, like kids and fashion, that type of thing. But yeah, I guess it's some blog that Vanessa wants to do, and she's saying she'll do it on her own. That may be your best bet. You cannot keep having your hand out, Vanessa, waiting on fucking Angela to take you by the hand and, you know, commit to doing anything with you. You know, she has a lot of growing up to do. She's very selfish and entitled to herself, and you know, her having that baby, it just made it worse, it looks like, because to me, she was already selfish. You know, before the baby came along, she was acting funny, and I could tell by how she presented that motherfucking man on this show how she was going to act. So after a while, you just see people for who they are, Vanessa, and just see your sister for who she is. And I guarantee you, once you stop fucking with her and you begin doing things with other people, like get you a really good girlfriend, y'all go into business or whatever, then watch Angela ass pop up and want to have something to do with it. Let it go down like that. Don't keep reaching out to this bitch. I wish it would be me. I would never keep fucking with her in that way. You got one or two times to tell me no and to promise me something, and then you fall through with the fucking plans. You know, you just only have so many times to do that. So I think Vanessa should just really leave Angela alone and let her work that shit out. So I hear JoJo, he's talking to Vanessa. She's telling him about what happened with Angela. And JoJo know that Angela is full of shit, but he feel like if he's in a room, you know, she won't be able to back out of shit. But what y'all need to understand is you're dealing with a person's personality. That is their personality when it comes to things that they don't want to deal with. Angela is not showing up for her sister because of Angela. It ain't nothing that Vanessa has did. That's Angela's personality, to leave the family hanging. Remember, we already saw this with the sister Darian. So you guys would be better off doing things with each other. Like even Vanessa and JoJo getting together, doing something together, and just leave her ass alone. And once you do that, you go show her you independent. You don't need her ass. Watch her ass start trying to come on back around and seeing things your way. Watch it. I want to briefly discuss something. I don't think I got the chance to discuss it. The whole situation with TT, Egypt, Pep's friend, and Egypt's boyfriend. I do feel like the boyfriend is pretty controlling, because that's not something a lot of people can make up on your boyfriend. Like, I remember I was dealing with a controlling guy, and at the time I was young. I was about Egypt's age. I didn't want to hear that shit. You know, you in love with this person, you want to see them a certain way. And, I do feel like there's some shit with her relationship. The guy is very talented that Egypt is with. I will say that. And I like their music that they did together. I do feel like TT is messy, and she's approaching the whole being concerned thing the wrong way. And when they took the shit back to Pep didn't want to hear that shit, because she was like, y'all not giving me nothing solid. It's just how y'all feel. So I just feel like they need to watch how they try to come at Egypt's boyfriend. He may be suspect, but you gotta have real facts, you know, to get people to fucking believe you. But so far in Pep's head, Egypt is happy with the guy, you know. But to me, he was kind of controlling. And I know this firsthand, you guys. I told you I went through it with this guy. He kept needing to come everywhere with me. telltale sign a motherfucker is controlling. This same motherfucker, we used to live together, locked himself out of the house. I had mentioned I was going to the store right by our house. I get home, this motherfucker done locked himself out the house looking for me. I said, I told you where I was going. Oh, well, you ain't say how long. I was like, oh, Lord, I can't deal with this crazy motherfucker. So with him Egypt's boyfriend having to be at Romeo's shoot and not trusting Egypt, that's suspect. He claimed he doesn't know Romeo. Romeo is not trying to get with Egypt. He's too busy up TT's ass, Angela's ass, even Brianna's ass at this point. Yeah, I don't see him trying to get with Egypt because he knows she has a man. So that's that. Romeo is respectable like that. I never got that from him where he would push up on somebody else's woman. Something else that briefly happened on here was Pep, Egypt. Was it Pep, Egypt, and Christina? Christina had told them how she got into it with Brianna, and Pep and Egypt was really up in arms about the fact that they were not allowed at Boogie's intervention. But Pep, Dame feels like he left upset with you, and even though it wasn't your fault, you can't expect for somebody to invite you somewhere and they're upset with you because they feel like you've been giving their son drinks and he doesn't need that. That's what it is, Pep. It's, he's mad at the wrong people. I understand that. I feel like Pep is innocent in all of this, but I feel like Pep as a parent needs to understand where Dame is coming from and not personalize it. The man had the main people he needed there. He mainly hangs out with Brianna more than any of the rest of them. So everybody didn't need to be there. I didn't really feel like it was a big deal, but they claim they care about him and they would have, liked to be there, which is fine. At least they care about him. So we got Boogie talking to this counselor lady about, his issues with drugs. He said he had a really lonely 2017 and she wanted him to talk about the relationship he has with his father. It's more like a boss to an employee, which that is kind of, how it looks like. But at the same time, Boogie, your father loves you. I really believe that he does. That is his personality. Like I said, you guys, people have different personalities for different reasons. You just have to learn how to deal with them. I'm not saying sit up and put up with abuse. I'm not saying that. But Boogie keeps on with this bullshit about, well, I don't like his timing of the intervention. Bitch, when was going to be the right time? When you're dead? Because when you're dead, it's going to be too late. Oh, ungrateful son of a... Let me quit, y'all. He better be lucky he ain't my son. He talking about, oh, well, I don't know when I'm going to talk to my father again. Be like, well, fuck you then. Shit, I ain't talking to your ass either, And I know it's easy for me to say that because he's not my son, but I can't keep fooling with somebody I'm trying to help and they keep trying to take the shit the wrong way. And, I'm sick of that and I'm over that. So... that was Growing Up Hip Hop, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.